The rejuvenated Raheem Sterling showed Barcelona what they had missed. On the afternoon of November 11th, one of Barcelona's executives was holding court with a group of local journalists outside the Nou Camp. It was a troubling time for the club. 5 days earlier, Barcelona had thrown away a 3-goal lead to draw with Celta Vigo in La Liga, and they were struggling to qualify from their Champions League group. Favor needed to be curried, so after taking part in the unveiling of a gastrobar at the stadium, the executive started spreading some positive news to the journalists in attendance. He told them off the record that despite the club's financial troubles, they would be signing a big player in January. The name at the top of his list, Raheem Sterling. Sterling had been on Barcelona's radar since last summer, when they considered making a bid late in the window to sign him. The impression they got from the England forward was that he was unsure about uprooting at short notice, so Operación Sterling was put on ice until the start of November, when the club started thinking about January transfer target. A group of Barcelona executives, including Alemany, the sporting director, and Ferran Torres, the chief executive, arrived at City's training ground for talks on November 27th. But by then the club's priorities had changed. The plan to bring Sterling to the Nou Camp had been mothballed. Their new target was Ferran Torres, 21, who joined Barcelona from City in January for a deal worth £46.7 million. Why had Barcelona switched target? First, Alemany had advised Xavi, the new head coach, that he thought Sterling, 27, would not adapt as well to his new surroundings as Torres, mainly because the latter was Spanish and knew some of the players in the dressing room. Second, Alemany knew Torres was desperate to join Barcelona, and he had a good relationship with the player because they had worked together at Valencia, where he was previously the chief executive. Alemany was also on good terms with the agency that represents Torres, Leader Brock Sports, which also counts the Barcelona midfielder Pedri among its clients. By the time Barcelona's executives had met with their City counterparts, news had filtered through to Sterling that Barcelona's interest in him had cooled. It was slightly disappointing in one respect. He had always been keen on playing abroad, but rather than sulk, he carried on grafting, and before long he was getting back to his best. Sterling struggled at the start of the campaign, scoring only 1 goal in his first 14 games. The Sterling that missed a hat-trick of chances in a 26-minute substitute appearance against Club Bruges in the Champions League group stage in October is unrecognizable from the one who effortlessly pinged a curling shot into the top corner in the round of 16 first leg match against Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday. That goal, his 127th for the club, made him City's 10th highest goal scorer of all time. Now he is back to his best form and I am so glad, Pep Guardiola, the City manager, said. There is no chance of the Catalan dropping Sterling from the starting 11 for today's match against Tottenham Hotspur. Ask those who work with Sterling why he has been able to turn things around, and they will give you a simple reason. He is playing regular first-team football. Since Guardiola brought Sterling back into the team for the match with Everton on November 21st, he has not looked back, scoring 11 goals in his past 16 appearances. His confidence is higher, Guardiola said. Confidence comes as a consequence of him scoring goals, and that causes him to smile and be in a good mood. You cannot play well when your mood is down. I watched the first half against Sporting Lisbon again, and you see the intensity that he has with all his movements, defensively especially. It's magnificent. He is a key player for us, and I am very glad that he is back to his best because we need him. The positive impact that regular football has had on Sterling's game is clear from his statistics. Before November, his shot conversion rate stood at 3.6%. Since then, it has rocketed to 32.4%. He has also benefited from being moved out to the wings, having started the season playing as a false 9. Some of his best performances have been on the right wing, notably in the 1-0 win over Chelsea last month, when he gave Marcos Alonso a torrid time, but he has also been deadly cutting in off the left-hand side of late. Sometimes we need a right footer on the right, sometimes we need a left footer, Guardiola said. It depends on the position of the players that play in the middle. He can play when we need a striker in behind too. I think alongside Gabriel, he is the best we have. Sterling had a disagreement with Guardiola in March last year after complaining about being dropped. Their relationship has been repaired since, but there is still some doubt about whether Sterling will be at the club beyond the end of the season. His present deal expires in the summer of 2023. Contract talks are penciled in for the end of the season. Guardiola likes to freshen up his squad at the end of a campaign, and the club may decide to cash in on Sterling this summer if he does not sign a new deal. City would, in all likelihood, want a fee well in excess of the £50 million they paid for Sterling, and they signed him from Liverpool in 2015, and few clubs have that sort of money available. The future is not presently on Sterling's mind, though. All he is concentrating on is maintaining the form that has made him such a valuable part of City's title charge.